Hello everybody and welcome back to Fraser 1515 Gaming. In today's video we'll be doing episode 8 of our Los Angeles Kings franchise mode, and in this video we'll be going through the re-sign phase as well as July 1st free agency. So I think that's going to be a little bit of a shorter video. So to kind of summarize what has happened so far, we've had two, I'd say, unsuccessful seasons, but that's okay because we were trying to tank anyways to get better draft picks, and the draft picks that we've had so far, we've definitely hit on them. So in this past draft, we just got two, maybe even three impact guys that could play for us next year. So we have, what's the best way to sort this? I'll just do it this way, then we'll sort by potential. So we got Quentin Byfield in our first draft, so we're going to probably play him in the NHL this coming season. In the draft that we just completed, who did we pick up? It was wingers. So it was Peter Reynolds and Henrik Tellqvist, both outstanding players. So we're going to probably sign them to contracts this year and see what happens with them. We also picked up these two wingers here. This guy was our 7th round pick. He's a 55 overall grinder. And then we picked up Isaac Garfave? I don't know what he is. Anyways, he's a Swedish prospect that, he could be organizational depth in 2 or 3 years. On right wing, we picked up Holtz in our very first draft, so he looks like he should be ready to make the jump to the NHL next year. Hopefully be in the at least low 80s, maybe hot like 79, then 80 by the time the season starts. We also picked up Chivstov in the 5th round, low elite, 63 overall. So we went a little bit older with some of our selections. However, I think it's still going to pan out. Where was he playing? Was it in Russia? Yeah. So we'll see what he does over in Russia this year. Hopefully he takes another step forward and maybe gets into that low 70 overall for next year, and we can bring him over and play him in the AHL for a season. We also picked up Oscar Ekman in the 1st round. He was our 3rd first-round pick last year, and he's a 76 overall two-way forward. We picked up this Whitmore guy who's a fairly good overall, but medium top 9. It's not the end of the world, but he could eventually be good depth for us. He also has that good body size, 6'2", to play on the bottom pair or bottom couple of lines. We're going to probably want bigger bodies in there to crash and bang. We also picked up Brant Clark from Barrie in this draft, so hopefully he develops quite well in the next year. Our 2nd round pick from last year, Jamie Stone, he's developing quite well. Hopefully we'll get another good season out of him at the U.S. collegiate level. In terms of who else we've drafted, that's probably going to make an impact soon. There's not a whole lot of guys. However, there's Gibbons. There's hope for him possibly making the NHL in the next couple of seasons. And in goaltender, we are going to be bringing Askarov across the pond and see how well he plays, because he got no growth over in Russia last year. So let's start signing some of these players that are going to become free agents. So what we did, we traded away Viatella to try and open up a spot for Parikh. However, I think what we're going to do is leave Parikh unsigned for now and let him go to free agency, and then evaluate what's there, and then we can sign him if we need to. So we're definitely bringing over Askarov. So we'll give him a 3-year deal, just the basic ELC. The defensemen that we have, I don't think we're going to bring any of these players back. We're just going to ride with what we have and maybe try doing a bit of a youth movement. Zach Fenton, I think it's probably worth leaving him unsigned for now, see if we can get a bit more growth out of him. And I think that is probably the same for about everybody that we have down here. I don't want to rush them to the NHL too early. When we do have players that we can use to contribute to the team, I'm going to let these 2 players go, so I'm going to release them right now and open up roster spots so we have a better idea of what we actually are dealing with. I am going to sign Ekman and bring him over to play in the AHL this coming season. unless we get some unexpected stat growth. But I don't anticipate that happening. We're also going to bring Telquist over. And Kubalik, what did he do last year? 13 goals. See, I think we can bring him back in free agency if we want. If we're going to be going with younger players, I don't quite see him fitting into the system all that well. Who else do we have? I'm going to leave all these guys unsigned for now. We can always sign them later on and bring them over to North America. Cody Eakin. I don't think we're going to be bringing him back this year. We'll let him go as well. There's just other younger players that I would prefer to play. I'm going to let all these guys go too. So we're going to have quite a lot of roster spots available. And I'm also going to bring him over, because he didn't get any stat growth over in Russia either. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of roster spots available for when free agency comes. So another thing that we also have to remember to do is hire some more coaches, because right now, or I guess it would be scouts, because right now I just fired 3 of the lower rated ones. Okay, we got all those players. I think we're probably good to go to right to free agency, which I think I'm going to do. Yeah, Kubalik. I'm not worried about losing him. We're at 36, excluding beginning of the year. So we can sign 11 players. That works for me. So 11 players. How do I do this? Sign free agents, and let's deal with the coaches first. I feel like that's probably going to be a more difficult thing to do. I find the coaching system in this, it's a great thing to have, but with how difficult it is to actually use, it's just more frustrating than anything else. So this guy here, let's bring this Russian scout over. We're also going to want to, is this guy good anywhere else other than the NHL? He can scout in the O and the Q, and they'll also get better, so let's just sign. So I think we need 4 of them. Just double check on this guy. Yep, we can make him work. And let's try and find somebody that's like built for over. Oop, that's not what I was looking to sort by. I want to sort by this. Get the best ones available. And let's also bring this guy in. That's 3, I believe, or 4. So I think what I'm going to do is go and check how many actual scouts I have right now that are rated D overall or lower, and then fire all these guys and bring in new scouts, since there are a ton of A's available. And from there we can slowly go and start improving our scouting staff, because that's going to be a big need for the coming seasons. Okay, so I think we have all of our scouts offers now. So let's get into the actual free agency portion and see who's available there for us to sign. So Barbashev, Ovi's there, Dustin Byfuglien, Barbashev, Strome, Tatar, Schwartz, Gustafsson, Pierce, Gustafsson, Shattenkirk, Jonas Brodin. So let's go and take a look at the goaltenders first. I always like building the team from the back end out. So who all is available? I can't believe Henrik Lundqvist is an 89 overall. That's got to be stat growth, because he's 39 already. Alex Nedeljkovic is available, so I think I would prefer to sign him and hopefully have him be for 1 year. Yeah, so let's offer him a deal and see if there's any more fringe starters that would be worth getting a hold of. Nobody's here is really drawing my eye, but Perry, I think we should bring him in 6'4". Let's offer him a contract, and worst case scenario, we can trade him for like a third or fourth round pick. So Jake Bean didn't get qualified. So I think, wonder what he's looking for a very small contract too. Let's offer him a deal. He could possibly, he should be playing in the NHL next year. I think it's 3 there. No draft picks required. So let's see if maybe we can pry him away from the Carolina Hurricanes. In terms of who else we need, so we're basically on the first pairing we have Sergachev and Doughty. The second pairing, who do we have? Let's just go examine our who all is on our team for defense right now. So how it lines up. So we still have Muzzin. Bornfoot's going to be a member. So our top 4 is probably set. So we're basically looking for two third pairing defensemen. Oh, I clicked into the wrong part. So if we go to defensemen and sort by overall. So third pairing defenseman, who do we have? So if we assume that we're going to get Jake Bean, who else would we need? So he's an offensive defenseman. So maybe if we can get a right-handed defensive defenseman to pair with him. I know Zach Bogosian's there, but I feel like he might be a little too slow for our style of play. Let's go over here and see if we can sort by, or at least see skating and see if there's any right-handed defensemen here that kind of jump out at us. I really like the idea of bringing in Alex Edler, but he's 35 and he's left-handed. We kind of have a plethora of left-handed defensemen already in the system. If I just sort by this, what happens? So we get, okay, that works. Troy Stetcher's a righty. Could bring him in. Did he put up for point-wise in the last couple seasons? Nothing spectacular, but he was a round and even player. Played third pairing. Chris Russell's a lefty, right? Yep. So we don't quite want that. What if we also sort of maybe put by defense? And we're still looking for right-handed defenseman, which Jeff Petrie is, but he's more of an offense. Oh, they have him as a defensive defenseman? Very surprised at that. I thought he was more of an offensive guy. But how much is he looking for? 5. I don't think we're going to go with that. Chris Tanev and Eric Gustafson are also here. Tanev's a righty. We could go with Tanev. I'd be happy going with him. There's also Larson. Maybe we could trade him straight up for Taylor Hall, if you guys catch on to that joke. But I think the smart move would be trying to sign him to a 1-year deal, say 1 year, $5 million. Let's go 5.1 or 5.2. We have the cap space this year, and kind of take that as an insurance policy. If in terms of prospects, who all is there? Nobody else. So on the wings, who's this guy? 49 overall. I can't imagine him ever making it to the NHL or to the point where he would be a serviceable NHLer. Zach Aston Reese, he's actually very good defensively. If you look at his advanced metrics from Evolving Wild, I think we're going to offer, or I'm probably going to come back and circle in on him and maybe get him to play on our team somewhere. But he's somebody that I'm going to circle around in. Who else do we have here? Anybody? That's not. Oh no, that's Joey Anderson. Okay, I was thinking it was Josh Anderson at first, the winger from. Where's he playing now? Colorado or Columbus. Yeah, he plays in Columbus. Matt Luff is there. Where did he play last year? Or did he play at all? No, he didn't play at all last year. So he was a guy that used to be in our system, but I think the computer dropped him because we were over the contract limit. And quickly check down here if there's anybody worth picking up, and I don't think there is. So I'm going to Zach Ashton Reese in the back of my mind because we might be coming back to him. Zach Hyman. I always liked him with the Leafs. I feel like he's a good digger, but I'm not 100% sure where he fits in on this team. And for the salary that he's going to be requesting, I just don't think we can make that work in the long term anyways. Who else is all here? Yeah, I think we're just going to keep moving on there. But let's extend a offer to Isaac Lundstrom, see if that can possibly work. Let's make that a one-way deal so we can crank this price up some. And we'll do the same thing with him, see if we can maybe grab a hold of him via an offer sheet. We are going to be needing probably a fourth-line center that is good at face-offs. So in terms of who might fit that bill for us, we could get Koivu towards the end of his career. He's good at Adam Lowry's really good at face-offs. I kind of think he might be the move. But what's he's a restricted free agency. I don't think we have that kind of cap space. But let's sort by face-offs. So the best face-off man available is definitely Travis Zajac, who's 36 right now. It could be a veteran presence, or we could go with Adam Lowry. So I'm kind of leaning towards Lowry just because I think he could be a bigger piece of us long term, rather than Travis Zajac just being strictly a guy that we throw out there for face-offs. So let's try and see if we can maybe sign Adam Lowry. 1 year, $2 million deal. I'm fine with that. And let's see if there's any prospects. Oh, we already checked this. Let's go to Zach Ashton Reese then. Go back to him and offer not Justin Williams. We want Zach Ashton Reese. We'll offer him. Let's just go a 1 year deal. So I'm not quite sure how he's going to fit into our system, but I do want to have him around. So that brings us up to 7 contracts right now. So I think it is worth 49 overall. That's just way too low. No, I got to talk myself out of that. In terms of who else we could have. So let's look for guys maybe that are looking for a 2-way deal. That will probably narrow it down to guys that are still young enough. Young enough that we aren't going to be kind of skewed in our sorting. Something we are going to be needing. Sorry guys, I'm going to have to pause this. My dog's wanting outside. I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that. So as I was saying, I think that we might want to bring in a right-handed shot. So in terms of who that could possibly be, Robert Hagg's a lefty. Gavrikov, what's he? He's a left-handed D as well, defensive defenseman. Dominic Masson, is he a righty? Nope. So we're looking for somebody that's still like fairly young and could potentially grow a little bit more. I think Barbario's a righty. No, he's a lefty. Joey Hicketts. He's so small. I wonder what he would have been like if he was another, 2-3 inches taller. Jake Middleton. He's a lefty. This is getting a little tougher than I thought. Mitch Renke. He does not look like he's going to fit into it. Is Ben Harper a righty? No, he's not. Bergman's not. Bergman is. Maybe I offer Bergman a 1 year deal to play down in the minors. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. What I'll do is I'd rather sign somebody out of our system and have them play in the AHL rather than have somebody from here come in. So I guess let's advance a couple days and see who all we sign. in terms of scouts and in players, and then we'll probably just sim out to the first of the preseason, and then we'll cut the video out there. So we get how many scouts are we gonna get here? Probably all of them, I'd imagine. Scouts are so easy to sign, whereas the coaches, they have so much more stuff that they want to have, like is your team a contender? How's like the players fit into the system? So we did get Perry back. That's good. So we got more scouts. A whole bunch more scouts. Okay, so our scouting staff is full, which is fine. Adam Lowry is going to be joining the team, 6'5" center. Zach Ashton Reese, Chris Tanev is coming. Nedeljkovic is coming. So Jake Bean is accepted, as is Isaac Lundstrom, and Jake Muzzin for a first. I really like Jake Muzzin, but that's another first-round pick that we could use. Jake Muzzin's also probably on the wrong side of 30 right now, and I wonder if we could. Oh, he fits so well in with our scheme. I don't think, but we could probably replace him fairly easy through free agency too. So Isaac Lundstrom's going to be staying in Anaheim. Mikey Anderson for Philip Deneau. I don't think we do that. I like Mikey Anderson. Those picks, I think, are going to be too valuable. Daniel Riddick and Chelmelsky for Kreider and Bonino. So I just seen Kreider was a free agent, so that's something that's fairly flawed with this game, is that they often allow they sign players and then they trade them right away. It doesn't make any sense. So who's all left in free agency right now? So we currently can sign 3 more players, and I wonder if there's any restricted free agents. Similar to what we did with Sergachev last year, that would sign possibly for a 1-year deal worth like nothing but like a 3rd-round pick. So if he was to get that kind of deal, we'd have to give up a second, which is too much. That we're not giving up a second for Kevin LeBanc. But what about Nick Ritchie? Nick Ritchie would probably want more than that. Yeah, 2nd-round pick. So I don't think it's worth doing that. Let's take a look and see what our lineup's shaping to be right now. So I think defensively we're set. Or no, we're not set, unless we get some good growth from somebody. But right now we have Doughty and Sergachev. Second line's going to be Tanev and Muzzin. Then we have Bormfoot. And I guess we are going to have to hope for some stat growth out of one of these younger players. Preferably a righty, Sean Dursey, but I don't know if we're going to be able to have that. So I think the play is going to be try and find a right-handed defenseman to play on that 3rd pair with Bormfoot. So maybe Jeff Petrie could come to mind. In terms of our forward lines, we are probably going to be rocking with Kopitar, who's also starting to decline, so that's not good. We have 3 more seasons left to him at a $10 million cap hit. Jeff Carter's looking for an extension. How much is he looking for? 3.5. For a 36-year-old, I think we can probably hang off on that, but the only thing is we're going to risk not being able to bring him back when he actually is a full-time player. So who's on the left wing? That's Kempe wants to re-sign, so let's see what he's looking for. 2 years at 4.6. I don't think. Well, how many? 20 goals. So he was a 50-point guy last year, and he's a lefty. What does he want for 1 year? Same thing. So let's see if he'll do 4.2. 4.2 for 2 years. Save a little bit of cash, and probably let him go after that. Anybody else in the system that is expiring that wants to re-up their deal right now? Mikey Anderson and Sean Dursey do. So let's offer them both extensions. goaltenders. Cal Peterson wants to resign, but I don't think we're going to even bother with that. And I think we should actually try and trade him right now. So let's see if I can go and move him for another piece. So we can get a 5th for him at least. Kyle Kaiser, Oscar Steen, a 5th round pick. Let's send him to Philly. That way we don't get to play him very often. However, I think Philly actually plays Los Angeles today, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, for a backup goaltender, we are going to trade him for a 5th and a 7th. So that also opens up more playing time for either Parikh or Askarov down in the minors. Because I think we'll do Askarov in the minors with Nedeljkovic being the backup tendy. So if we want to go and we still want to find that right-handed defenseman to play on our 3rd pairing. Is Demers a righty? Demers is a righty. I think he would fit pretty well on that other pairing. Stantini, what is he? He's a righty as well, but he's also restricted. I don't want to go through the hassle of getting restricted and then him not being able to actually join our team because of his original team matching. So let's just go ahead and offer Jason Demers a contract. I don't want to go 4 years with him, but I will go 1 year and boost that up a bit. We'll say 4.7. That should get the job done, and we'll bring him in. Just advance a couple days here. Yeah, we're not doing that trade. So Kempe resigns, Demers is with us, Sean Dursey resigned, Mikey Anderson resigned, and we are continuing to get trade offers for Jake Muzzin, who we don't want to trade. But I think that's all I'm going to do for free agency, so I'm going to cut the video here, and I'll pick it up at the beginning of preseason. Peace.